What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Doomsday Device Gaming. Today with us, we got Tony back, the god of Buster. And he's coming back here with Buster Despia. He put some spice into this deck. He thinks he's got something going on, and he wants to show it to us. So what up, Tony? How you been, homie?
Good. It's been a while since we last did a take for my Busters.
And you think the Despia stuff really helped with the deck?
Most of the time it's because normally they're just support for extension to add the branded cards. So they're mostly for extensions, and so does with like their cards from the structure deck, like Kit and the hand trap. I forgot his name is.
Yeah, Mercurier, yeah.
Yeah, Mercurier, yeah.
So we're still Buster locking people. That's still like the main thing. Go first, Buster lock. Say you can't play, right?
Yes, it's a lot more easier for me to send my key cards to the graveyard to do branded with the branded cards. Yes, it really helps me instead of with my Buster cards.
Well, cool, man. If you're ready, let's get into the profile.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, to start, we have two Buster Bladers. In the past, I played the Destruction Swordmaster, but with the branded stuff, sometimes it needs to have OG clusters. So I'm playing it at 2, but maybe I'll pitch out the one Buster Blade for Swordsmaster. But most of the time, I'm just sticking with normal Busters for material.
All right.
Second is my Searcher, is Buster Well of the Destruction Sword. Same as usual, normal summon, search for any Destruction Sword card, to sending it to the graveyard to summon my Link Karibo. So material in the graveyard.
Right.
One Dragon Buster, you stick with one. If I open it in hand, I can discard it with like branded opening or sending it from the graveyard with branded fusion. So I can summon Lubion. He has a dark and also a dragon. It helps me send it for putting prologue and memories to summon it. 3 prologue of the Destruction Swordsman. Same thing. Send cards from the deck to grave. Summon my Synchro from an extra deck or graveyard, and good protection for my babies. 2 Destruction Sword of Memories. I think I played 3 last time, but for 2, it should be better because I don't want to brick it. 2 is fine. A easier way to do fusioning, since it is fusion summon, so I can do the continuous branded when it's in play. So yeah, good target. 2 Fallen of Albaz. A lot of people are playing 2 because 3 is super bricky, and when he's normal or special, he can fuse together with the Super Poly ability, so it works. And then the new archetype I'm playing for Busters is the Despia engine. The Despia engine is pretty interesting for me since they do stuff when fusioning. So like with Aluber, when normal or special summon, I get to add a branded card or branded spell or trap, so I can easily add branded fusion, so I can send cards from the deck to grave, or for me to send cards from deck to grave, so I can have my Dragon Buster or Whelp to the graveyard, so I can do fusioning with my Buster Fusion. But yeah, like that. And then 1 Dramaturge. He's pretty good whenever I fuse with him with the branded spells and traps. So since he's sending it from grave or being banished from field to grave, so I can summon it summon it to the board, and when I fuse or put in my Buster Dragon Synchro to the field, his effect will activate to negate an effect of one monster your opponent controls. So yeah, it helps. 2 Spriggan Kits. She can extend if I control a Fallen of Albaz fusion in its name to special from hand, so I can search for branded spells. So she's just there for extensions. I sometimes send her to the graveyard for material if I don't have any resources, but yeah, just for special summon. 3 Macariers. Good hand trap. Also a good banishing effect when adding a monster that has Fallen of Albaz mentions in its name, so you can search for kits or the Albion main dragon for Albion Shroud, I believe. Yeah, good effect. It's definitely, I think, my second time playing more than one hand trap in this deck. One Albion of the Shroud, if it's in hand or graveyard, by sending a branded card from hand or graveyard to the graveyard, and then if he's in hand or graveyard, by putting it to the bottom of the deck, I can put that in there to draw a card, or if it's in hand, I get to summon it from special summon it. Good recycler. I normally send him to the graveyard just to have that draw power. And then 3 Ash Blossoms. I don't have any other staple main monster hand traps other than Macaria, but that should be fine. For spells, I play 3 Branded Fusions. I get a little confused for sending cards to the graveyard because it has to be Fallen of Albaz, but I kind of worked it out because it's Fallen of Albaz, a lot of Fallen of Albaz when you're doing performing fusions. Yes. 3 branded openings. I like branded opening because it is for Despia, especially the discarding thing is not a cost, so your opponent would have to respond unless I would have to bait this card out because I have like 3 cards that do searching or sending. So special summon the Despia from defense mode or add it to hand. If this card's in the graveyard, if a fusion will be destroyed by a card effect, I believe, I get to send it, banish it to protect my fusion. So if they pop my Buster Blader fusion, I can use it to protect it, so which is good. 1 Branded Lost. This is actually a really good card, especially when you activate it. It's like Magical Meltdown on legs, since they can't do anything when performing fusioning and activation, I believe. And also when I fusion summon, I get to add a card that mentions Fallen of Albaz to the hand. So let's say if I go first, a fusion, add kits, and extend, or if it's during my opponent's turn, if I fusion during my opponent's turn, which is the Buster fusion, I get to add Macaria for negation of a monster effect, so which is good. So I was thinking about playing another one, but this is still testing, so we'll see. 2 Allure of Darkness. A lot of my friends ask me why I play Allure of Darkness because they think that I have Despia Tragedy, but which I don't. I thought about it, but it's too much of a focus of Despia, but while I need to focus on Buster Blader. Because Tragedy is fine, but I can use Allure of Darkness to banish Macaria because of his banish effect, so I can just add a monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz. So it's fine. I need to do draw power because I never done draw power with my previous decks before, so it needs something. 1 Call by the Grave, staple target for hand traps like Ash Blossom as usual, but it's really hard when you're playing it at 1. Please, Konami. 1 Branded Banishment. It's not much of a hype, but usually it's a good target when you have Despia stuff in the grave, so you can special summon it, and then you can fusion the Despia on either board. So it works for good removal. Yeah, only 1. Not really important. 2 Trap Trick. I used to play 3, but I really don't want to break Trap Tricks. I open Buster Web time to time and then prologue. So it's easier way to set it, Branded Fusion, and if I have this, it's usually just in case if I want to do it again during like my turn or my opponent's next turn. So yes. And then last hand trap is Infinite Impermanence. Good card, good staple, and yeah, that should be everything for my main deck. So extra deck is pretty tight. So we'll start with the links. 1 Linkuriboh. Usually time to time when I don't have Branded Fusion, I'll do the normal play for Buster Bladers. So normal summon Whelp, link to this, and then Zed Prologue. So yeah, link repo staple. Let's see. 1 Protector Whelp. Same as always. Usually when this card is, I just link summon it, send a Destruction Sword to the graveyard just for material fodder, or having my if I don't have my lockdown set up. So he's there just for sending. 2 Buster Dragons. 2 Buster Dragons are fine unless my opponent does something for removal wise. With the new Albaz card, Lenatus, it's like a double-edged sword. You have to see who summons Lenatus first. Alright, now for the fusion. So a lot of fusions.
Let's go.
Buster Blader, the Destruction Swordmaster. Same as always. I play 2. Mostly key targets for lockdown with Buster Dragon. Same thing. Switch to defense mode if they're dragons. Cannot activate the effects. Gains 1,000. Does piercing. Big beater. Good staller for floodgates. And then for all the branded, 1 Masquerade of the Blazing Dragon.
I hate you.
I'm sorry. I need to play this. I need to play this since it needs something. I needed this one to keep burning since a lot of branded use this most of the time.
Nice.
So burn to the ground. My second one of is Alba Lenatus. Good target. I love Lenatus, especially when you're using Fallen of Albaz and its materials is 1 plus more dragons, so I can get rid of let's say get rid of my opponent's 3 monsters in play to special summon or fusion summon Lenatus. Good beatdown since it beatdown to attack multiple monsters, or I think it just attacks depending on how many materials it uses. Good target, good beatdown. 2 Albion. I was thinking about playing 1 Albion because since its requirements is light types. I normally send it to the graveyard because of Mirror Jade, but sometimes I can banish my Buster Blader and my Protector Whelp to the banish pile to fuse the Buster Blader fusion. It's easier way for me to not waste my memories in case of if they would call by the grave it during their turn when it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, set up branded. That's basically what everyone likes to send. 2 Lubions. When I first picked up the structure deck, I was playtesting it to 1 because since it by bouncing it back and an Albaz to the graveyard to fusion summon again. But I know sometimes your opponent can disrupt that, like let's say like counter traps like Judgment right here. Yeah, I decided to play 2. Good target for Mirror Jade and other materials that is from the field, graveyard, or banish pile to recycle. And then 2 Mirror Jades. I love Mirror Jade really much, especially when sending fusions to the graveyard, especially when sending for Albion or having another target, let's say like my dragons. So because I need a dragon material from the extra deck to the graveyard. So like sending Lubion, Albion, or my Protector Whelp or Buster Dragon. Not recommended by Buster Dragon. I need the target. So yeah, and then by banishing it or sending a fusion to the graveyard to banish a monster. I wish it was not the end of the next turn because I want to do it on your opponent's turn. It would be quicker, but that's fine. Especially with the graveyard effect, it's basically Elemental Hero. The fusion one that does destroy back Absolute Zero, yeah, to destroy monsters on the field. Good card. And then lastly, Despia Proskinian. I picked this up yesterday, so I'm still working on how Proskinian works, especially since it steals your opponent's monster from grave to either banish it or special summon it. Good target, especially he's a 32 beater and defender, so it's situational, but I'm still working on Proskinian, so I need to work that out. So yeah.
Alright, do we have a side?
Yes, sir.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, for sign, I'd play Wizard Buster. When he's equipped, monsters in your opponent's graveyard cannot activate. There are times I would side it in.
So some deck more value. Shit, nice.
Yeah, usually because I was facing a Shaddoll player yesterday. Yeah, so there were a lot of targets for Shaddolls to be activated in the grave. When he's equipped, when I send it to the graveyard, I get to add a Destruction Sword monster from my graveyard to hand. So I could just like normal summon Whelp again to add Prologue again. So no, it's fine, but it's just for the equipping ability. One Robot Buster Destruction Sword. I rarely use this since no one plays Robot Buster. I played this one because I faced a lot of Warlocks at my locals. If I were to send it to the graveyard, my Buster Blader would gain the 1,000 attack and the defense points, I believe. Nah, it's alright, but just like I said, equipping ability like with Wizard.
And yeah, man, like with that, what people gotta realize about the side decks, it's always, you know, whatever locals you go to, that's what you gotta give your side deck for. And your locals are gonna be different from regionals and all that, so.
Yeah, but it has to be activation. That's the thing. So it's not floodgates.
Yeah.
That's where that Warrock came in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's their continuous spell. Right?
I understand.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry.
You're good. It happens. So it's just there. Next is Ghost Ogre. Since it's still testing, so I have to think of what to take in and what to take out for matchup wise. Good target, especially when you want to get rid of Mirror Jade. Or with Mirror Match, because I know there's a lot of Mirror Matches for Despia. It's a good removal, also budgetable too.
Oh yeah, man, yeah, with that structure deck.
Oh yeah,
that was nice.
Good reprints. It's also good stuff. One Regeki.
It's a 3, bro. Why 1?
I wanted to play 3, but I was thinking about taking out my Wizard and Robot for 2 more Regekis, but. It's still testing. I think I'll play 2 more Regekis for the funds and removal.
Okay, gotcha.
Let's see. Good staple for the structure deck. Dark Ruler no more.
Hey.
Yeah. Good target for having if your opponent has a lot of monsters and no damage. That's fine. It's worth the negation and get rid of monsters. 3 Lancios.
Nice.
Yeah, key target for a lot of banishing, like the Despias, Elwich, etc. Whatever meta that's banishing. Yeah, it's a good target. I like Lancios. And then 3 Solemn Judgments.
3? No.
I thought of not playing it and play Evenly Matches. But Evenly Matches is in another deck right now. But Judgment's good. Pay half. I'm okay with it.
And we are back for the 2-card combo that is gonna blow your fucking mind because we are going to bustle out the fuck out of the opponent. What you got? What is it?
All right. So for first turn, if nothing happens, we'll start by normaling Buster Whelp. When normal summon, I get to add any Destruction Sword card from deck to hand. Normally, my key card is adding Prologue of the Destruction Sword for this turn. And then next up, we'll activate Branded Fusion to send the Fallen of Albas and the Dragon Buster. We send it as a dark type, so we can easily summon Lubion from my extra deck. So when summoning Fusion, his effect will activate to discard a card to perform a fusion. So by recycling Fallen of Albas and Dubellion, we get to summon Mirror Jade from our extra deck. The next part is for kind of confusing but weird of why. We're going to activate Mirror Jade's effect to send Albion from the extra deck to the graveyard to banish my Buster Whelp. Sorry, baby.
And this is because we need an extra dragon in the graveyard to do the full Buster Lock.
Yes, because with Mirror Jade, I can send any monsters from the extra deck to the graveyard. Most of my extra decks are mostly dragon type, so it's easier for me to get my Buster Lock ready.
And Albion gets us an extra card, which is always nice.
Yes, and
after that, we'll go ahead and set the trap.
Yep. So yeah, we'll set prologue, and then we hit end phase. During the end phase with Albion's effect, if it wasn't a Despia card, we're just going to set branded opening. So we'll set that for this turn, and then and the start of my opponent's turn. Most of the time, will activate prologue during draw phase or standby, which we'll do it on standby by sending Destruction Sword of Memories and Buster Blader to the graveyard, and then this allows me to do Chain Memories to perform a fusion summon in grave. So we can banish Buster Blader and Albion from the grave to summon both Buster Blader and Buster Dragon. And then when main phase comes in, let's say your opponent, let's say normal summons a monster, and then effect of normal monster will chain Buster Dragon to equip Buster Blader with the Dragon Buster to the board. So if they're going to try to summon monsters from the extra deck, they will not.
And everything is negated because of our big boy Buster Man.
Yes.
And so now, if, for example, the card discarded off of
Lubellion. So if with Lubellion in play, if the discarding was a Despia, aka Dramaturge, and end phase with Albion, we'll set banishment
instead of
opening. And because if it was, we can activate this during your opponent's turn. By summoning Dramaturge to the field, and then we get to fuse Despia, Dramaturge, and Mirror Jade to summon Masquerade in place. Since it still is your opponent's turn, they would have to pay costs of 600 every time they would activate a card.
So at this point, you get to burden the hell out of your opponent. But it doesn't really matter because they can't really do anything. They can't activate effects of monsters, and they can't summon the extra deck. So you've locked them out, and if they try to do anything, they're gonna have to burn to death.
Yes. Oh, what is also even better, because with this in play, if it was Dramaturge by banishing it, since it was used as a material, I can also bring it back.
Oh, an extra body, yes.
Yeah. So let's say if your opponent does link summoning, because some monsters can do stuff in the graveyard, and then his effect will negate a target effect, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And so that's pretty much it. That's the combo, boys. 2 cards. You just need the little guy, what's his name, the Search is a Trap card, and you need Branded Fusion.
Yeah.
And that gets you here. And like we said, if you have a Despia monster discard, it also gets you your Masquerade. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching the combo portion of this video. And shout out to Tony for being the best fucking Buster Blader player I've ever seen in my life.
Heyo.
And shout out to Sci-Fi, because that's where we're playing. And that's it. See y'all in, I don't know, wherever the hell I'm gonna upload next. Bye.